right, here we go with another episode of Small Talk. Happy New Year, guys. How was it for y'all?
Oh man, it was enjoyable. I didn't go out, but got a movie in. Enjoyed. I live in a condo with a bunch of other buildings around, so usually people are out on their balconies, just being generally outlandish and banging on stuff. So that it's always fun.
What about you, Badfish?
I sat on Discord and played games with my wife and her friend. We were all playing different games though. We were just all playing and just we counted it down, and that was about it. Nothing crazy. And yeah, with our baby, we have a 16-month-year-old, so
Nice.
16-month-year-olds, Jesus, right? 16-month-old upstairs, so we can't really go out anymore. We haven't even gone anywhere except for one night we did like a dinner. So New Year's isn't a thing anymore for me, but beyond just counting it down. But it was still fun, and Christmas was the main event. Lots of fun at Christmas.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Eddie? You do anything fun over the holiday?
I did not. I made food, got drunk, and
Nice.
stayed up till midnight. And that was about it.
You made it to
Yeah.
midnight then?
Yeah, I made it. I made it to the. I didn't watch any countdown or anything. I don't have cable. I don't know if they stream that anywhere else, but so I haven't watched like a ball drop. Don't make this a sex joke. I haven't watched this one of those in like I don't even know how long time.
So
That's
it's the
gonna
last
get
one.
that's gonna get clipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did on YouTube. There's like the countdowns. There's like a Canadian one in Toronto, and then there's obviously the New York one.
It's if they stream the New York one on YouTube too?
Yeah, they had some like really bad angles, but then they had the main
I would have
like
watched
camera at one point. Yeah, it's like ABC or I forget, CBS.
Well, next year,
Yeah.
next New Year's, I'll watch.
We had family come over on the Friday after Christmas, all the way through New Year's, and I did a whole lot of cooking. Made hamburgers and brats and stuff like that, and my mother-in-law made some enchiladas, so I made some fresh rice and beans and stuff, and some salsa to go with it. Because
Oh,
I had to
man, now I'm
liven that thing up a little bit. But my in-laws, that whole side of the family, they're real big about watching the ball drop in New York. They're real big about switching through the channels and watching all the artists sing for the new year and stuff like that. And I'm just not like that. I'd much rather be sitting outside with the fire pit, which is what I had. No one used it. It was just me and my thoughts looking at the fire and then shooting fireworks, So it took us a solid
Oh, nice.
4 hours, 3 hours to get outside to start shooting fireworks and stuff after it had already been dark. And that was like the best part for me, was doing all that, because I was helping my boys. I was helping their kids do fireworks. They got to do artillery shells and stuff like that. So they got to do all the big stuff, which they don't normally get
America.
to do. Yeah.
I know,
America.
right? It's man, when I was at that Illuminati Star Wars Christmas party a few weeks ago, there was a guy selling like
Are you sure you can't even
bootleg.
talk about that?
No, I can't. I'm already in trouble. But there was a guy selling like a case of like bootleg exploding Baby Yoda fireworks, and I was so tempted to get one, but like you light that off in this neighborhood and straight to jail. It's not going to go good for
Really?
you.
Straight to
Yeah,
jail.
it's not going to work out. But yeah, they had bootleg exploding Baby Yodas. What a time to be alive.
Does
Oh, I love
anybody
that
have
saying.
any?
We need a like a little buzzer every time you say that.
Does anybody have any traditions? Like Equan said, he has to eat 12 grapes before the New Year. I've heard of that one.
Does
I've
what
heard
count?
of that one, yeah. It's
Does
like a
what, you say?
Filipino thing. In the Philippines, they eat... No, it's not the I'm trying to remember now. I literally watched a podcast talking about this the other day.
I've heard that before
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know. Not really. It's just, if I have a drink, I'll do a cheers, because I'm Irish, but I haven't been drinking as much lately, so... And
Wow.
no one else was drinking with me, so I had like one... like tall can. That was
Your
it.
ancestors
Yeah.
could see you now.
No Jameson, no.
That's definitely my choice whiskey. Right now I have like some Seagrams, and then I have some the cheap stuff Wisers, and then I
It,
think I have a really good one that my parents got me for when we moved. I haven't touched. It's like it's one of the, I think it's Glenfiddich or McCloud. I forget. I have to check.
Oh, I love those.
I'm trying to do math in my head. He hasn't drank in 25 months.
Yeah, and also,
it's been a bit.
but like 12 grapes, like why do you guys make stuff up just to mess with us? Like that's clearly not real.
It's something to do with like
Oh,
one
it's a
grape
grape for each month.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
luck for the year or something like that. It's
And
or maybe it's a
constipation for the
Greek
next,
thing.
like, 3
Now that I'm
days.
thinking about it, maybe it's a. I don't remember now.
Badfish is like, it's some ethnicity, I'm sure of it.
It's
I don't know
some
exactly which
countries.
one.
That's
Yeah.
their whole thing. I
Yeah,
can't
I've
remember.
never heard. I've never heard of that till today, but I'll take your word for it, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's check in with the chat real quick. Toy Mafia, as always. Equan's here. Mark Pearson, the award-winning, right? Or Mark P. Big Old Fern. Got Money Mendez. Let's see. And I'm just gonna call you Mike.
It's Tijuana.
Hey, yeah,
Oh,
I would.
nice.
I would not
Tijuana
even
Mike.
be that close. I would not even be that close to.
I've
saying
seen him on like
TJ.
LWO, I think, a lot, right?
And
Yeah,
then we
he-
also
yeah.
got Back to Action. All right, guys. So our
What up, everyone?
our topic for this week is collection curating. So it's a new year. I wanted to know what's in store for your 2024 collection. Are you revamping? You gonna start fresh? You gonna get in some new lines? What does this look like for you guys this year?
All right. Well, are we getting straight into that before new pickups? Because I got some pictures later on. But for me, I think it's tough because like it's hard. I can't imagine getting into a new like 112 line with like a ton of like new releases, like another like 30 figures from a new line. Like right now, to me, that seems like unfathomable from a space and desire perspective. It's interesting, but like you can have a lot of enjoyment sort of seeing what's being released and sort of engaging with the content without getting silly and opening up a whole new DTOF or something. But I'm pretty happy with what I got going on. The only current line, but other than TVC, that I'm really working on is that Jazzwares Halo one, and like I feel like we can say it's dead now. I don't. I think the SDC exclusive that Eddie got for me is the last thing they put out. So I don't know.
Oh, geez,
but
that's a while then, yeah.
yeah, I don't think there's been a new item in that line since then. So maybe I'm complete on it. Maybe I'm missing like 5 figures, I think, out of like 60.
Wow.
That's not bad. It's good to almost feel like you're finished with it too.
He
Yeah.
doesn't want to be though. He's being forced.
Yeah, but that's
need-
like a full. It's not a DTOF. It's like that's like it's that you can't see it very good, but that's a full case of that 3 3/4 Halo one, and it's
That's
like
sick.
it's almost like I could fit like 10 more anyways. So perfect timing, but sad to see it go. It's definitely the best Halo line there's ever been though. Like McFarlane did one way back, but like back when McFarlane wasn't good.
I
So
have 2 of those.
yeah. But yeah, I would get more of that if it came out, but yeah, so like this is pretty much how I still have the vintage stuff. None of that is TVC, even though it looks like it, but it's old man 70s and 80s stuff right there. So it's still kind of laid out like that behind me, but I moved it around a little bit. But I like this picture because you can sort of see almost everything. But yeah, it's just a little bit in terms of making it look like a store display was kind of the goal
Yeah.
there.
That's
So
cool.
That's sweet, man. Yeah. I'm really considering like getting some of these like racks actually for toy shows and stuff like that. which I'll talk about later. But yeah,
Yeah, they're very affordable. I mean, you probably have a store near you, but there's one like right by me where you can buy the like grid wall and pegs and hooks and stands and all that stuff, and it's all pretty cheap, really.
yeah, this is definitely cool. There's the all the obviously in box as well. Just seeing all the vintage, it's awesome. That poster at the top, it looks like it's almost like neon, like
Oh, which one?
orange in the
Which
top
one?
right, the Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that is actually that's a store display for it would like hang on a shelf for like some type of books. So that's like a 1983. Like it's the technical term is a shelf talker, but it's the longest one I've ever seen. So like I don't know, but it's I like it because it's a little bit of it's a version of the Return of the Jedi logo that you don't usually see. And I guess it was unused because they didn't write um they didn't write the price. That big white circle on there is for a price to be written in, and there's a cents symbol. So it was such ancient times that you could actually buy something for a certain number of cents.
Oh wow.
It
Yeah.
is ancient. It's pretty ancient. It's before
So-
my time.
So, do you have it set up this way because it's just like the most convenient, or is it like this because like you remember going to the stores and taking it off the rack and
Well,
purchasing it? Because this reminds me of like a store shelf than just like
yeah. So yeah, like so there's a grid wall and pegs behind there, which I bought from a store that sells for like shop owners, right? But yeah, like you know, I displayed it this way because most of the figures are on card, and those pegs in this shot are like 2 or 3 deep. So like I don't have space to show all the carded figures I have, so putting them in sort of store display style, I can mix up which ones are on the front because you have 16 front facing there. So if I get bored, I can shuffle them a little bit, and it's a little deeper now than it was then. So that works out pretty good. And then you know the box art's pretty great. So if you get it flat against the wall, that actually keeps it a little tighter to the wall than something like a DTOF would. So you get a little more space back in your room.
That's really cool.
Yep, that's awesome, man. Badfish, what about you? What are your plans for 2024 with your collection?
Oh well, basically beyond the bookshelf you see behind me, I've got like these 2 bookshelves, and that's basically it. I've got 1 DTOF with some 6 scale. Well, I guess technically 2. But beyond that, I don't have much on display because we've just been in limbo because of everything. I'm trying to curate. If we're talking curation, I'm trying to just get rid of a bunch of stuff that I can't display and don't want to display anymore. Like just going to toy shows, selling stuff. So I did that all last year. I think I did 3, I'm trying to remember if it was 3 or 4 shows. Next one is coming up in March, so I'll be doing that again. And I'll probably put some of the stuff I'll just put on like bargain bin prices just to see if I can get it to move. And then even online and stuff like that, because a lot of it I just don't want anymore. Like I said, it's just I'm not displaying it, so why keep it? But that's kind of been my whole thing for the last while. But I mostly am, I have definitely certain 1/12. There's a lot of 1/12 I don't want to ever get rid of, especially Star Wars wise. Looking at some of this stuff, like, I mean, how cool is this guy? This and that. I have like the Sand Trooper over here, like he's got the little
pretty
Death
cool.
Star disc. I mean,
Nice.
these things are awesome. I don't know. I love Black Series a lot. As cool as vintage collection is, and I do want to have some of that for vehicles. I'd want like accompanying figures for vehicles. Beyond that, I do want to sell a lot of like, because a lot of it's just stuff I bought when I was in the collecting spree. If it had the word Star Wars on it, I freaking bought it. You know what I mean? So I've gotten rid of a good chunk of it. I mean, I sold some stuff that I never thought I would sell at the last toy show. So that was nice to get rid of. Stuff that, like, I sold like a Captain Phasma thing. I was like, no way nobody's ever going to buy this thing because nobody liked her anymore. She just
Badfish
fell
you know,
apart.
You know, there's the Captain Phasma Black Series. was the one with the helmet busted open. I don't remember the movie, but apparently Captain Phasma's helmet busts open at one point.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was a Toys R Us exclusive here in Canada. I don't know about the States, but it used to have like a big holographic Toys R Us exclusive sticker on those boxes, which gets the Americans pretty excited these days because they don't have that anymore. So maybe that's why you
Let me
sold
see
it.
if I can. Let me see. I might actually have one right here.
What do we not have anymore?
This
Besides
Toys
Toys R
R
Us?
Yeah.
stickers.
It's coming
Toys R
back.
Us.
It is.
Well,
I don't have one.
We'll see.
In
We'll see.
I
Macy's.
thought I had one.
We'll see.
Actually, speaking of boxes, that's the other thing. I have like, I think because I know I want to keep certain figures, I was keeping some boxes in case I might sell them eventually because it gets you a little bit more value when it comes to Star Wars stuff. But at this point, there's enough of it that I probably like Darth Vader. I'm always gonna want to have a 6-inch Darth Vader. Why keep the box for it? I'm gonna do a purge. I might pull a Mark Pearson
Do
and
you
burn them
keep
all one night.
Black Series boxes?
I have a lot of them still. Yeah.
Dude, I don't even keep
Yeah.
some Hot Toy boxes.
Yeah. So like
That's amazing.
that's part of the purge of like this year. I'm gonna like get rid of a bunch of old boxes that I just am like, why am I keeping this shit? And part of the reason I just haven't had time is because again having a new baby and stuff like that. But going through the basement, I'm like, why do I have this shit? So that's and having the time to do that has been the main thing. But once I've been setting time aside, we've been like catching up on a lot of things that we've been procrastinating on. So getting things done lately has been good. So this is part of the clearing out this whole bunch of shit that I just don't even look at anymore. That's my curation, because I've said before, it's just I went on that buying spree, and I think we've all done that where it's like, why the hell did I buy this thing? But anyways, I'm rambling a bit in circles here, but that's my plans for 2024. Display more stuff. You know what I mean? I mainly want to focus on Star Wars because I'm kind of done with Marvel as well with a lot of that sort of stuff.
It's so funny. Like half of us are talking like we're not going to just be buying like piles of nonsense, even though everyone knows that's not true. It's interesting how that works.
I want that Cheeto figure still, though. That's the only thing that I don't want that's not
I
Star
got
Wars.
him in such a sick pose right now. I don't even want to move it to fucking.
Were you the one
Yeah,
who
you-
did it? Like he's like chopping it up or whatever.
No, he's currently playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh, that's sick.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's one of the like mini
Man.
decks.
Yeah, this is so I love World Industries. I grew up skating kind of. So I love World Industries and Blind were like my two favorite skateboard
I like
brands.
Blind, yeah.
And I loved Tech Deck when I was a kid and Tech Deck dudes and all that stuff. So I buy some when I can, and they're perfect scale for him, especially because he's kind of like weird proportions, So it's like it's perfect for him, dude. So I was like, I'm putting him with this.
Dude, you have to like do some photography, like when like edit out the stands and like put them outside in the background or something. Like like there's
I
some
wanna
potential
take
there
him
with
outside,
that board.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you just
dude.
get the phone low, put them outside on the pavement, like, and then just painstakingly edit out that stand, that'd be a killer shot with
I have to learn how
just
to
saying.
edit first.
Just saying.
Have you seen
Uh,
any of the like little sets now that they have? Like
Yeah,
for like
one of them's
boxes
on
and like
sale at-
ramps and stuff, dude.
One of them's on sale at Walmart or no Target, and I was like, I should get one of these just to do pics of
They're
different characters.
so cool now,
skating.
man.
Yeah.
Like, and they're a lot of them are like made of real wood or like real metal or depending what it is, but there's still obviously plastic in them. But that like this one had like this little I forget what you would call it, but like it's basically a bunch of trick box with a bunch of different options, grinds and ramps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was sweet. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
dude.
like I think it was like $20 Canadian or something like that, or maybe 25, and then they go on sale as well because they want to clear them out. But yeah, the little sets have gone crazy since when I was younger, when I was a kid, when they
They're
first
going-
came out.
they're going on clearance. That's why, like,
Yeah.
if you're thinking about getting them, like, that's why I'm thinking about. I could definitely take some cool pictures with them.
And the
Um,
boards are like what, $2 or something for a set or something? They're super cheap
the
for like sets of
depends. Yeah,
boards.
it depends on which ones you get, but yeah, they can be.
I
Yeah.
found a tech deck set out in a garage sale one time. I just bought this whole big lot of stuff. I go, what can you do for all this? Sold it to me for like $5-10. And at the time, I ended up parting ways with it. I did keep the skateboard that came with it because it was just like part of my childhood, having tech deck and stuff like that. So look at the garage sales too. But Eddie, what about you, man? What do you got going on for 2024 for your collection?
I feel like 2024 is gonna be a fun year, only because I'm a little more set on what I want to buy and like what I want moving forward. I feel like what Badfish is doing right now, I've already went through. So like I sold a bunch of stuff. I'm finally like at a point. I was talking to my mom about this today actually. I'm finally like, cuz my mom, she doesn't collect, but she has hobbies and she's like always clearing shit out, and I'm like, "See, I get hoarding from you. So I was talking to her about it today, and I was like, I'm finally like, I have everything cleared out for the most part that I don't need anymore. I have some stuff still that are in bins, and but it's to the point where it's like one bin or like two bins, and everything else that I have I want to keep. So I'm finally in a spot where like I like where my display is at, and this isn't a forever place either, so I'll probably end up having to move or something and switch up displays. But where I'm at in this apartment anyway is really good, and so 2024 I'm excited. I think the biggest things for me in 2024 are going to be tailor down the hot toy collection a little bit more. I went a little crazy at the end of 23. If you've been watching the channel, like I got a bunch of stuff lately in hot toys, and I want to scale it back, but not stop collecting them. Just be a little more careful about what I'm picking, because I've realized with figure collecting, I really like to pose and take pics, and not all hot toys are fun doing that. Like they can take pics, but I really like to get them in a sick pose, and if they can't get into a pose that I like, I kind of hate them. So
I feel like you're influencing me, Eddie. Like there's a guy locally who has that episode 2 Yoda, and I've been just like twitching on the like message him button, and it's like, oh my god, man, that thing looks fun. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I should do more pics of that one for sure, because that's a cool figure.
Do you push the articulation in them too
Yeah.
You're not
with
shy
hot
with
toys,
them.
dude. Yeah, you would be scared. I'm surprised, knock on wood, that I haven't broke a hot toy figure before, because I definitely pose them as if, or try to pose them as if they're super articulated, but they're not. So that'll be fun in 2024, and then I think the two lines I'm most excited for in 2024 for 1/12 scale is actually two lines I never thought I'd collect. Amazing Yamaguchi and Mythic Legions. I don't know why.
Wow.
Oh, here we
Man.
go.
Mythic Legions.
The
I think you guys finally got me.
the
and
amazing
Dean, too.
Yamaguchi stuff, like I've always hated like all of like the gappage on it, but damn, they get into some sick poses.
They're getting better, man. Like
Yeah.
I'll talk about it when we do new pickups, but they're getting really good. So even though it's not a new line, like I have no interest in going back and getting older stuff. Like I'm just getting newer stuff because I like where they're headed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I heard a great interview with like somebody from their team, and they're like, "Don't do it, don't go back. Like it's a
Yeah.
fool's errand.
Start from right
We're
here.
gonna do cool stuff again, or like we'll do a variation on the key characters. Like they'll come back around. Like don't do that to yourself."
yeah.
So for me, I added some pictures on this one.
Oh,
So
I have a quick question for Eddie actually.
Go for it.
How long did it take you to the easier question? What's the new focus? It seems a lot of Batman, which is not a bad thing.
That there will never be like that as far as like the IP and everything. There will never be a focus on that. For me,
Yeah.
it's like different things. Like McFarlane is definitely DC or Batman, and then
Yeah,
like,
you have a lot of variety. Yeah.
yeah, Yamaguchi is kind of whatever they put out right now because I really like that stuff. Mythic Legions is only really Vikings and Knights, and not even like the fantasy stuff. Like I don't have any interest in getting dwarves or like orcs or any kind of stuff. Like I'm just getting humans, and it's either Vikings or Knights. So the Rising Sun wave, obviously, there's some Vikings there. NECA is still Predator, Super 7, Disney, and cartoon stuff, and video game stuff that I like Halo and Call of Duty. If we ever get more stuff of that, but we hardly ever do. And then, what did I miss? Model kits, some model kits here and there for Digimon, and Hot Toys is like same thing. It's like movie everything. So like I don't really have that kind of focus. I don't think I ever can. But it's kind of, even though it seems sporadic, there's focus in those areas.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and how long did it take you to get to selling like off all the stuff, and like how long did that take you to get to the point where you're like happy where you are with it?
4 years.
Okay, so that gives me
It's
some
like
hope.
2020. I feel like is when I started like going back and forth between statues and Hot Toys and figures, and so I had a bunch of stuff. I sold a bunch of stuff. It was back and forth, but now, so I would finally say now is the where I'm getting good at it. So 3 years maybe then.
Cool. Yeah, because I've been selling stuff like more in the last year, but I've been like just planning to do that for like a while before that and just never did it, right? So definitely need to, like I said, just offload larger chunks. But yeah, I was curious how long that take, because I know a lot of people talk about that, and being able to get to that point where you're happy with what you're picking up and filling into your shelf. So
Yeah.
sorry, Sean.
You guys should totally collect vintage Star Wars, because like I decided to sell some stuff, and like it was real easy, and I don't even see the difference spatially, and like it achieved the financial return that I was looking for.
Yeah,
This is not financial advice.
So. Yeah, that's the plan. Just sell out some stuff. I have some stuff people still that's popular, but yeah. Anyways.
So for me, about mid last year, late last year, I decided I just want to have fun with it. You know, it got to a point where I was just trying to complete lines and things like that, and really be hard on myself for not like finding a certain figure to finish the line and then putting in something that doesn't even match to hold the place or whatever. So I'm going through some selling too. Just put some those Marvel Legends zombie figures up for sale, and sold a couple of Power Ranger things, and just some some stuff that I bought from like collections and stuff that I wanted things out of, and just flipping the rest of it. But I really, really, really want to put the focus this year on the Mythic Legions. You know, you're getting the last two horsemen coming up this year. I want to go back and find the first one with his horse, and you could kind of see Alithia here in the corner, but this is kind of my spot for it right now. I want to have a more prominent spot for it, but I'm just trying to figure out how I want to reorganize everything. But this is where I have my Mythic Legions right now, and just do something with this space. I have these random Power Rangers right here. All my other Power Rangers are on another shelf, so I'm almost kind of going into like a demo mode. So here's those legends. I'm pretty close to wanting to part with any of these legends, with the exception of like the War Machines, the Deadpool, and maybe the monster Deadpool. But and I got this space too now. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it, because it's just kind of like you can see on the top here, collecting dust. So I have a lot of reorganizing to do. I have this big space here, and I think I want to buy like another one of these.
Wow.
One of these box cubes, and put it on risers right here.
That set of cubes are awesome on the right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bought that locally. Someone happened to be in my neighborhood and they were selling it, and I caught it just in time. But Power Rangers are basically done. I mean, there's not much that I really want from them. I think there might be like one or two figures that I need to work on, but Hasbro took a hiatus from that,
Yeah, I know, man.
and
They
then
didn't
I also
finish
have.
Wild Force.
Oh,
Like
I
to
know,
see it.
right? There's like so many lines, and like Turbo, right? They only did the one. But I was wondering if that was to also finish the JDF line too. So, but I've kind of been out of the comic game for a while, but I want to finish this wall right here, and finish it up with some vintage comics, and fill it in there. But I've been putting all of like my high dollar favorites right here in the main part of my collection, where you see the 3 statues or the 2 statues in the HasLab, and yeah, I definitely want to get into like a rebuild mode where I'm focused on stuff that just makes me like happy to have, and not try to really like try to keep up with everybody and buy the same thing that everyone's buying. I don't mind buying some of these like weird one-off kind of figures. Like I had so much fun kind of going out of the box and getting the Fury stuff.
Oh, I see
So-
that on a lot of top
Yep.
10 lists.
It's definitely in my top, I would say 5. I don't know. I haven't put it in a spot just yet, but between him and then Eddie, you were mentioning the Mythic Legions, 2 figure Obscuras this year with the Monkey King.
No, I seen that in a lot of top 10 lists.
He's
And a lot of number ones actually for that one.
yeah. And then I'll talk about this a little bit more here in a second, but I got the Father Christmas on the
nice.
re-release. And I really had fun with the Father Christmas. I wish he would have came before Christmas started, back when they were doing the actual sale, but they were just too busy with the shipping. I had this idea of getting the box signed by Santa Claus when we went to go see the kids went to go see Santa, just to kind of have it signed or something like that, just to have fun with it. But yeah, it sounds like a lot of big stuff's happening this year, and it sounds like a lot of money too.
Let's just appreciate how awesome that collection room looked. You have a sweet setup, man, with the like comics and the movie posters going
I
across,
love
Yeah.
the movie
and
poster
that,
one.
especially that event, that box like I mentioned with all the Power Rangers. That's like such a sweet setup. It looks like well filled out, but not cluttered. It doesn't look like you're just I'm sure you've all seen it. Like some shelves they have tons of stuff on it. Like it's well spaced out. It looks great, man. Like your
Yeah,
whole
that was the
collection
one
room.
thing when
It's
I
really
had
awesome.
when I had my first house, when we bought our starting house, we turned one of the bedrooms into the collection room, and that's all it was figures just standing up, arms to the side. I at least have enough space on that wall, which you'll hopefully see in a few weeks when I do an actual room tour. But they're posed a little bit, kind of like what they did for the I don't remember which episode it was, but where Austin St. John comes back as Red Ranger, and they're all kind of go fight all the different villains and stuff like that from the different series and stuff. So really appreciate this Power Ranger wall. I've always loved Power Rangers. And then let me see if I can find it really quick. Yeah, nope, not that. This right here, you see on the right hand side, my Avengers display, that is basically finished. I do kind of want the I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's like the King of Wakanda Black Panther from SH Figuarts, because it has all these like rock display with it. But I have the Legends one with it right now, and it works just fine. But let's get into some of the comments, because some people had some good stuff talking. Tijuana Mike said that he plans to go all X-Men 2024, and he pre-ordered the Angel. I saw that Angel today. I did not get him up in
I was
time,
tempted.
but we could talk about it next time. But that Angel is sweet.
Yeah, it is.
I personally like the original form of the Angel. But yeah, that thing looked really, really nice.
Like there's a lot of cool X-Men stuff recently, especially like with the Hano Studios and yeah, I feel like there's and Hasbro's been like making some of the cooler like
Retro stuff.
97,
retro
right?
style ones. Yeah, so I I feel like X-Men's really been out there lately.
Mark Pearson said he needs to clean his room. Don't we
I'm telling you
That's what I
that
did today.
his box burning is one of my favorite stories.
Where does he say it?
Cathartic.
Somewhere here he said he was about to sell about 75% of his collection or so.
Brave.
See, there you go. I know he was also having the same situation as me. He had a lot of stuff in Tupperware boxes. He just wasn't displaying. So why have it, right?
We also had Casual Nerd Problems join us. He's been doing some room tour updating too, kind of moving some things around. It looks really good too, man. Haven't had a chance. Did he drop the room tour yet? I think
He dropped a new one a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was a couple days ago.
I love the new logo.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the getting into
Sam
TVC though, you'd love to hear it.
Here we go. He said he plans on selling 75% of his collection. His basement is full to the brim. Curating is my life right now.
Yeah, there you go. So, similar situation to myself, than just trying to offload. Well, but yeah, the definitely some cool things with. I'm glad to see casuals getting into the TVC. You can pick up some of those movie ones probably cheap if you just want them loose, especially if you don't want them on card. Like I think he was saying he wants to open a lot of them. So
They just buy him from
box,
Chris and open all his.
Yeah, I mean, I got doubles of a lot of that stuff. The problem is it's coming from Canada, so like you'll be able to find better deals. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, maybe not on the, the TVC Cara Dune is a hot commodity. I'm not talking about that carbonized nonsense one though. I'm talking about the regular one, the good, the good stuff. But
the carbonized one, actually, I saw it's not that bad. Only the armor is carbonized on it, and it looks not terrible.
Sure.
It looks pretty good.
Sure, but I mean, they didn't carbonize her face. Good for them,
Exactly.
The Moff Gideon actually looks probably more screen accurate than the regular one, but those are, I think is finally
if
over.
it's hard to get, I would grab the carbonized for like my Razor Crest just to have her, rather than not have one. I would grab a carbonized one of her for sure. But
yeah, I gotta check how many I have.
I know I have a carbonized one of the Death Troopers and stuff from like Rogue One somewhere, and then I think one of the Mandos, and then I was like, why do I? Again, those are things I need to sell. I'm like, why did I buy these?
Yeah. Well, those foil TVC cards actually look terrible because like they just reflect like no light, and because they're mostly black, so it's like whatever.
Yeah,
it's just a
that's
weird
true.
choice. They don't look
I still
that
think
good.
they look cool, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
All right, so we did a little bit of stuff out of order, but that was my bad. We'll go into our new pickups really quick. Chris, these Banshees are amazing. I remember when I had them, they are so much fun. And of course, with all your professionalism, with your picture taking and stuff, your photography.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I'm real late to the party on that one, but I just got the Natiri one. But it like around Christmas they went so cheap. Like I think I mentioned it on a previous episode, but I finally opened it up, and I think it was like $30 Canadian for the Banshee, which is like they're just like, please.
With her?
That's
No,
like the
I
big
got
one?
yeah. Well, no, it's like the McFarlane one, yeah. But like, but like, I think they were regular like 89 or something.
Yeah.
In Canadian. So like I don't know, but it's fun, and like the stand is really great. It's like imagine that a company actually thinking out a stand for a product and like it's actually good.
That actually
that and the Christmas tree to boot in the background.
I know, right? It's pretty glorious. I like the V1, like the first movie Natiri better, but yeah. Look, Eddie's got the other one that's like screaming.
I was gonna say, it's not an articulated jaw. They're stuck.
It is not. No, you got to pick one or the other.
That.
Sorry, Dylan.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Hey, he's the articulated jaw guy. I had to shout out.
it surprised me kind of because the wing has probably like 7 points of articulation just
Yeah.
on the wing.
Yeah, it really
So,
does.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
I gotta get
It's
that
all-
one still.
yeah.
I sold mine in November, $30 each with the figure.
Wow.
It actually took a minute to sell, and then a guy hit me up on Facebook Marketplace, and he's like, "I don't know why, but my daughter loves Avatar," and
I don't know why.
What an
and I was like, "Wait, what?" But he ended up buying them off of me and stuff. But I was like, I had no place to put it, you know.
Yeah,
and I didn't want
it
to
is a
get on
problem.
the ladder, drill a hole in the roof, and have them flying or whatever. My luck, they fall and like break something.
Dude,
Eddie,
Yeah, they're
did
big.
you order?
I got it on Amazon when it was on sale. I got Jake with the Banshee for $15.50.
Both of them?
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's crazy, Chief.
Eddie,
Yeah.
did
These
you
things are
order?
huge?
Did you order
Yeah,
either of
huge.
the Hot Toys for the second movie?
No, because I was thinking I'd be cool with just these, and I think I am for the most part. I'm just gonna
I
get
think-
that one
Yeah.
with Natiri, and I think I'll be good. Unless I would love, I don't know if they're gonna continue this because I don't know how well this is doing, but I would love if they did the what's the other thing he rides? The other big
The well one, like the flying
That
well
one's
or
even
whatever.
actually I don't even know if they could because that one is
This-
bigger than this.
If
They
you got it
made
for
it-
15
that's-
bucks, they might
no,
not
they-
be doing that well.
The skimmer, like it's
No,
like
no,
a
no, no,
skimmer or
not
something?
from Way of Water. The one.
Oh,
that's
the
like
red, the red
Yeah,
Banshee.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
That
I
one's
don't
like
think that's- I
two.
th-
That's like 2 or 3 size of Banshees. That one's huge.
yeah,
but
this is already over. This line's already over.
yeah,
for
it's already
sure.
done. That's why. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be cool with just Jake and both the Banshees and Natirian. I think I'm good.
But it'll be nice if because theoretically the next movie's like what is it, like a year or two, a year and a half away. Hopefully McFarlane like retains the license and like it sort of continues with a big gap, and at
That'd be
least
cool, yeah.
there'll be like some continuity there.
I definitely think these are a great fit versus the Hot Toys because then you can have these creatures. And honestly, I don't think the Hot Toys look that great. I feel like they look a little. I don't know. Maybe it's just because as the creature design of them are kind of awkward looking. I feel like the 6 scale just looks a little weird. I don't know.
I'm excited to see that somebody get them in hand and like do a good review, but I don't know. It's just they had to put joints on there. That's what it is. But
Yeah. So, but the sculpts and whatnot, yeah, it's cool. So we'll see.
Badfish, you get anything new?
New, I technically have the Mark. Finally got the Mark 1.
Wow.
Hot Toys, and also Cad Bane is sitting at the post office, I think, right now. But
Wow.
yeah, so a couple Hot Toys. That's about it. I haven't had any Hot Toys come in for a while, so maybe like 2 months.
Those are some good ones.
What about you, Eddie?
Yeah. So I'll start with the least cool one first. I got in. So I wasn't a big fan of the movie, but I got Black Manta from McFarlane.
Yeah.
From Aquaman 2. I really love this character, and I wish Hot Toys would have done him. But McFarlane's good enough, and the suit is sick, and the actor and everything, and the way he's portrayed in the movie is cool. I like Aquaman 1 a lot. I didn't like Aquaman 2 very much, but this is from 2. He's a little more comic accurate in 2. He's got the silver helmet again and all that, but the only thing I don't like about this figure is the fact that he comes with 2 trigger hands when he doesn't shoot a gun. I don't get why he comes with 2 trigger hands. He should at least come with fists or gripping hands. That's another thing. He doesn't come with his own weapon, which is the Black Trident. I don't feel like that's spoilers. I think they show him in the trailer with the Black Trident, but for some reason they give it to what's the dude's name? Korax or whatever that evil looking figure is from the movie. For some reason they gave him, well, it's technically his trident, but Black Manta ends up like successing him and wielding the trident. So if you want the trident, you have to pay a whole nother $20 for a figure you don't even care for, which is dumb. But
Damn.
it'll probably go on sale, and then I'll get the trident, or I'll have. I'm trying to see if Zach could 3D print me one. That would be cool. And then so we were talking about Revoltech. I got in this Moon Knight.
Oh, whoa.
I think their newest release. He is dope as shit. I had so much fun posing him and taking pictures, and I'll probably pose him after this and take more pictures, and it's a lot of fun. And like I was saying there, so the reason I never originally jumped into these is because of how they look when you have a museum post, but they're getting so good with the aesthetic of their figures now that look in a museum pose, they don't even look weird to me anymore. They don't look like all out of proportion and everything. Like, yeah, the thighs look a little like bowed out a little bit, but they're pretty good in museum pose now too. And so I really love what they're doing. I'm glad I finally jumped into that.
Cape's sweet.
The cape is insane. It holds any pose you need it to. Like it just stays straight up. Like it's crazy. And you can do the if you like open it all the way up, you could do the half crescent moon type thing.
Oh, that's sweet.
Like if you I have
That's nice, man.
Yeah, you could do that. It's a dope cape. So I got that, and then this came in literally last night, but my first ever Mythic Legion. Two
Hey.
Mythic Legions, I guess. We have
Dude, that's so freaking
And
cool.
the horse.
we have what is the horse name? Beerus or something Boreas something.
Something
I got
like
it
that,
on
yeah.
I got it on the sale at Big Bad. So I got the horse,
Yeah,
and then I got
That's what I'm waiting on right now.
So
What's
this
his
is
name?
like was in
Govan?
stock.
something like that. Yeah, they had a
Make
had
him-
a
make him
Mythic
big
Legion
against him.
sale.
Yeah,
And,
they what's his name from Dorklayer was talking about it.
How do we make-
Bill from Dorklayer was talking about it, and he was saying that Mythic Legions did a they did a sell through the retailers, and
show that again, sorry, Eddie.
and some people were offering free shipping, others were offering like a few dollars off, but it made it worth what it, like it was even cheaper than the pre-order releases and stuff. So I saw a couple of figures that I'm gonna try to bite on. That's why I'm selling stuff, so I'm trying to
the
be patient.
armor.
his cape is really sick too. His cape
Yeah, I was
is
gonna
just
say.
as good as the Moon Knight's. Like it holds any pose you need it to, and he comes with a decent amount of accessories, crossbow and swords and stuff. And the horse is really sick. I was like wondering how I'd feel about the horse, but the horse is dope as hell. The thing that I don't love about the knight is his chest is really, really slim. I was like, dude, his chest torso is almost the same size as his head with the hood on. It doesn't make sense to me. But with everything on it and I'm having the cloak on it all the time. I'm not gonna take that off. So with all that on it, it looks fine. It looks proportion fine, but it did look, to me anyway, it looked really small proportion on the torso. But
Damn, they look so cool too. Like
yeah, they're really
it's
cool.
so like like I would want some of the fantasy stuff. I'd want some of like the dwarves but he's like just a cool, like he could be like in Warhammer. He could be like obviously not 40K,
that's the
but
cool
like
thing.
the old. Yeah, like he could be fit into any kind of.
So for me,
slot.
Mythic Legions is gonna be like, I love this show called Vikings from the History Channel.
History Channel. Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite shows of all time. And for me, Mythic Legions is literally gonna be Vikings fighting knights, as if
Okay,
like Christians
cool.
are fighting pagans. Like that's literally all that Mythic Legions is gonna be for me. So it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, I would like wouldn't mind grabbing like some for like D&D style character or something, like just having like a small party of characters or something. But yeah, that's really cool, that idea as well with the Vikings. And what's that one? Is that the show with the guy Uther or whatever, where it's like I think there's a Netflix show. Maybe it's a Netflix show.
Well, Last Kingdom, I think, is
That's what I'm thinking
the
of.
popular
Last
one
Kingdom.
on Netflix.
That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I watched like first 2 seasons of
I
that.
gotta check that one out.
show's
'Cause I heard
good.
that's good. Yeah.
You'd like it if you like Vikings and fighting Christians.
I
You'll
gotta-
like this show.
I
It's
gotta
great.
check it out.
It's good, man. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 seasons now.
So
There's a movie too, I think, or like an extra long episode that they released a couple years ago.
So this was a Christmas gift from my wife and my boys. They got me the only other 3 of the Super Mario movie figures that I wanted, which was Mario, Luigi, and Peach. Peach is a little top heavy because of her helmet. It's hard to make her stand, so that's why she's like in such an awkward pose right there. Is the only way I can figure out how to make her stand. But I really like the Mario and the Luigi. Now I don't know where I'm putting them. And it was ever since I bought that Bowser from Ross for cheap. It was like $15 or something like that. And I was like, damn, I really like these. I want to get the rest of them. So I might go back and get Toad. I haven't decided yet, but I need to be careful with these because if they make any more, especially they do like a Donkey Kong or something like that, I might have to finish this wave.
Didn't they just do Donkey Kong?
Did they?
These are pretty cool.
There's like a Donkey Kong that people have been posting on Instagram that's from the movie.
Oh,
So-
dang. Now I have to go find it. God damn it.
I'm
But,
a big gamer too. I've always like wanted to get like some sort of Mario representation. I just have never pulled the trigger on
Well,
it.
and
There's a
that's
lot of options too.
that was part of the whole curating idea too, is that I kind of wanted to move towards like some vintage and retro gaming consoles and things like that. Maybe make some space for an arcade cabinet, or go get an NES and get the adapters and hook it up. I mean, there's like some really creative people out there who've done some cool setups with the retro gaming stuff, and just to be able to play some of those games. But the great thing is about my son, he got a Nintendo Switch for Christmas, and Nintendo will let you download Game Boy games and N64 games, but you have to upgrade to their bigger extended package. So I'm thinking I might do that just to play some of the old Game Boy stuff and the GoldenEye and all those good games.
Well, if you I mean, you can get GoldenEye on Xbox now, which highly recommend. But if you got it at the time, Nintendo put out the NES and Super Nintendo Classic, which was like $60 retail, but unfortunately it became a collector's item, and now it's like 200 each of them.
Oh damn! I need to sell mine.
Yeah,
Some
but those
of these
are
games have been
those
going
are good.
crazy. Like I watched this picker guy on Facebook, and he'll go to garage sales and find stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, this game sells for $70. Like it's a PlayStation 2 game, and stuff." So it's cool to see that. The only other thing I got, here's the blue shell. Peach came with the blue shell, it's pretty cool, but it doesn't balance on its own, so I'm gonna have to put it on a stand. But the only other thing I got was Father Christmas.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this guy is awesome. Definitely
Dude,
in my top
this is
5
awesome.
for the year, and just making me more and more want Mythic Legions and the figure Obscuras.
Yeah.
I missed out on Headless Horseman, so I'm trying to track him down, and then I chose him over the Jacob Marley figure that they released. So, but yeah, in his bag too, there's toys in there. So if you haven't seen the reviews on this guy, he actually has toys in here, but I haven't opened it up because I don't want to mess it up. But the drum on the side is really cool, and he has a little doll or puppet in his pocket and stuff. And then this big staff is probably my favorite piece with the lantern on it, and came with 2 little headdresses and a shorter beard version for another head sculpt. And then I had him on Moose from the Alethea Wave.
Nice.
This is like legit now. What was it? Oh yeah, the tree too. He came with the tree and the trumpet. But I think I might go to
What's this called again? The name for this?
the Father Christmas.
Father Christmas. Okay.
Yeah, and I might go to Hobby Lobby, find maybe like an 8-foot tree or something like that to put him next to.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to see
So
some shots
cool.
of him like busting up some skeletons or something,
Right, that's what I thought with the staff. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
In one of the waves that are coming out this year for Mythic Legions, there's a Ghost Army, and I want to buy like at least 3 of them. You know, you got to have 3.
Yeah, that's what Santa
But
does when it's not Christmas. He's like
he's kicking
fighting
ass.
supernatural creatures. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
How
that's
much-
sand. That I'm freaking really wish I ended up grabbing that thing. But yeah, I'm trying. Like I'm said, I'm trying to focus. But that thing's so cool. I love Christmas style like collectible stuff. Just to be able to display it for like that for like a couple months or something.
see,
For like
and
a month or two.
I'm not super big into Christmas, and it was kind of a way to weasel my way into that figure because I told my wife, "Hey, I can get this Santa Claus figure. We could put it out next to the tree or next to some of the decorations." And she's like, "Oh, okay."
That worked. That's,
It actually, yeah.
that's fascinating.
Did you see the Fresh Monkey Fiction? Like we talked about it, right? We did talk about it.
The Santa Claus.
Yeah, and all the reindeer and stuff. I
Yeah.
really want those. The Father
Yeah,
Time.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the one you got and the green cloak one?
The green one was the
Father
retailer
Time?
exclusive.
Oh, okay.
I think. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only one I can
I saw
find
that one
right now.
'Cause
Actually.
Yeah, because the one you got was like a special release, right? And it's harder to get.
see, I don't know, like, because I thought the green one was the original release. I
don't
thought
know,
the
I'm
green one
looking
was
for
the
that.
original release, but now I don't remember.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
anyway,
the red
they're
one
both
is
cool.
hard. I can't seem to find like a site that has the red one in stock other than eBay. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely wish I grabbed it.
Check
but
BBTS.
How much?
only the green one's on there.
How much was the moose?
Moose was 80.
I want that moose.
I think he
I
was
need the
80.
moose. That would go good with.
But you know
Viking
the animals from Mythic Legions are awesome, man. I cannot wait
dude.
for the next 2 horses to come out because they're legit. One's a skeleton horse. Oh, it's so cool.
See, I'm glad I'm not like gonna get. I'm glad I have a line with that, like that I'm not gonna cross with those because they
right
are
now
cool, man.
I'm trying to only get the 4 horsemen, which they'll be finished this year along with their horse. And then there's a couple I want to go back on, like in their new wave that ends in like 2 weeks. It has the bear, and
That's what I got. The bear. I got the bear
you
and the
pre-ordered?
Vikings. Yeah,
nice, yeah, that's the one from the new wave, right?
yeah. The bear is sick.
I want to get the bear.
It's dope.
But
What was
all
the
right, guys,
cost for that Father Christmas? Sorry.
he was 60 or so, like
60?
with
Yeah,
tax.
He's selling for like 120 now on.
Yeah, I think the
eBay.
red one was like limited somehow or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Well, they re-released them again when they did the Jacob Marley figure. So
I say I feel like they've made him a version of Santa before, haven't they?
that was the
I don't
green one,
remember.
at least for 4 horsemen.
Okay.
But all right, guys, we are at 1 hour, and we're going to jump right into vintage talk. Chris, what do you got for us, man?
All right. Well, this is sort of related to a new pickup for me, so I wanted to spotlight a bit of a weird vintage Star Wars item for a little bit here. So, way back in 78 when the first 12 3 3/4 Star Wars figures came out, uh Kenner and Lucasfilm were doing a lot of weird licensing stuff, like later on for Empire and Jedi, they really streamed it to like the 3 3/4 line. But for Star Wars, there was a lot of like sort of like off the beaten path licenses and like weird products and stuff. So Takara, the company that is originally responsible for like Diaclone and the Transformers stuff in Japan, had the Star Wars license, and they did a bunch of weird products, and this is one of them. It's sort of a 3 3/4 scale R2 that is sort of like a wind-up toy that sort of walks. And on the left there, you can see what the Takara store display looked like in Japan, where they had just sort of tray with a bunch of them sitting out in there. But in Canada, Kenner Canada was like, that Japanese wind-up R2 is pretty hot, so let's put that like on a card. And so this on the right, you see like a Canadian carded version of the same figure, and a nice carded example of that is like $7,000 these days. But like the loose figure itself is like in sort of the 200 range. We're talking like a 99 cent or $2 like wind up piece back in 78. So, a nice loose one's a couple $100 these days. And it's sort of cool because the Canadian carded version, I should have grabbed a shot of the reverse, but on the back, it just like the other Kenner 3 3/4 figures, it shows the other figures in the line. So the Canadian card back sort of ties it into the existing Kenner 3 3/4 line in an interesting way. And it's a pretty fun piece. And according to Steve Sansweet, who was the director of fan relations at Lucasfilm, George Lucas liked this wind up R2 so much that internally at Lucasfilm they were buying it by the thousands to give out to like as employee gifts and stuff like that. So I found one. I picked up one recently, and on the next slide here you can see him in action.
That's actually pretty cool. I swear I had something like this. It wasn't an R2, but it was like a similar little kind of wind up
Yeah.
with those
well,
legs.
I mean, it's funny looking. It's just a novelty, but it's like it's 45 years old. It's got a couple of stickers on there. It's hard to find one in good shape these days, and it will probably cost you around.
5 years old.
You guys
It'll-
watch?
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Santa Claus is Coming to Town? The cartoon, or like that old Playmation, or what is it when they do?
It's like stop motion. Yeah.
Yeah, you watched that one during the
Yeah.
Christmas this year when he
Yeah.
sings that one. Put one foot in front of the other. That's all I
Yeah.
could think of when I watched that clip.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny looking because he basically has like 2 feet, which is not R2D2 at all. But like, Japan, like there's some other crazy like early Star Wars stuff from Japan. Like there's a C-3PO that just shoots a rocket out of the center of his stomach because like that's Japan for you, I guess. Like there's missile firing stuff was like the bread and butter. Yeah.
He had his samurai sword and his gun right there.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of like weird rocket firing stuff, like early Star Wars from Japan. But
Oh, that's funny.
but yeah, man, that's a fun piece, and I was happy to finally pick one up recently. But the carded one's a little out of my price range, I'm afraid. Yeah, I can't justify it.
Yeah, that's crazy. $7,000. That's absolutely nuts.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. Let's get into some toy news with Hot or Not. We got the Mezco Toys 5-point Batman Animated Series Deluxe set here due out this summer. The animated Batman set is 4 figures, and it's for about $80. And then we also have the Batman Animated Series 5-point Batmobile for $45. I know a lot of people are kind of freaking out about this just because how good the Batmobile looked, but I'm going not. It's a not for me. I mean, I feel like these. I know it's a little bit more articulated, but they just remind me way too much of the toys that I had when I was a kid for Batman, and having those animated figures and McDonald's toys that kind of did the same thing. I feel like if you're getting the Batmobile, it could kind of do it for you, but I think you need the entire set to get the full force out of this. And I'm trying to be objective because I'm not the biggest Batman fan, but I do think it's kind of cool how these 5 points do have switch out, so you could see like the switch out arms and stuff, and switch out arms and the accessories and the head sculpts and stuff like that. So you do get a little bit of option in there, but I'm going not. What do you think?
All
Chris?
right. You know what? I'm so glad that I think this is the most like aligned that Sean and I have like ever been on an issue. Like, does this like why does this Joker not come with a orange backpack? What sprays water? Like, why would I get this rather than just the vintage Kenner version? Like, it's 5 POA. How about you guys? Anyone who's looking at this and being like, "Oh man, that's pretty hot." Like, why don't you just be cool and collect vintage toys? Because that's basically what this is. Not hot, in my opinion.
Wow.
Not hot. Badfish, go.
I'm gonna be the opposite. And for this, the reason that Sean doesn't like them is the reason I do like them is because of the nostalgia. Like, I remember like playing with these as a kid, like having these. I think these are a better version of what you had as a kid when it comes to like paint apps and stuff like that. I see the complaints you guys are having, but along with the Batmobile and stuff, I think it's if I saw them and I was like, these are really cool. And if I wasn't in that curation mode, I probably would have considered these. But I I think I don't know. I especially the Robin. Something about it just makes me remember like him and Batman. Those two figures in particular. Just I remember playing with them so much, and
Mhm.
I don't think I had the animated Batmobile, but I had the '89 one, and I just remember playing with those so much. And I had like little Bat Cave, and
See,
yeah,
and
that those colors are so classic on Robin. I love them.
it's funny that you mentioned Robin because that was the first figure that I thought of. Like, hey, I remember having Robin. You know, Batman was beat to shit because you're throwing him up against stuff. You're doing the Batman stuff, right? But I agree with Chris that like maybe this is something you go vintage on. Do we need to make updated versions of everything? You know, uh, McFarlane's already kind of doing it, right? I think
Well, this is for the people that don't have them in their parents' basements, so like I do.
Well, hold on, because Badfish, I wouldn't be surprised if carded vintage versions of the Kenner ones are very comparable in price to these, if not less.
Yeah, you
Like,
said it was $80, I think, for the 4.
yeah,
for the four.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the other
So
weird
20
thing
a
to me,
pop.
yeah, but the other thing is like the card back design and the design of this Batmobile box are like they're sort of like aesthetically like riffing off the Kenner packaging, and it's weird that like us like technically Hasbro owns the Kenner branding at this point. That's why you see the Kenner logo on TVC and stuff. But it is something a little bit weird to me about sort of like packaging layouts that were like designed by like a competing company being reused by like somebody else, and it's like Mezco doing 5 POA. But
Everyone's
yeah,
going retro, right? I think though
Yeah.
they killed it on the paint on the not only figures but especially the Batmobile. Like looks so good. Feels like it's jumped off the screen.
What about you, Eddie? What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's hot. I don't collect
Yes.
5-point stuff, but I like the card backs. I think the figures look cool. I think
the card backs are the
the
same on the
Batmobile
vintage
looks cool.
ones.
Are you
Same
gonna
card
find
backs.
it? Are you gonna find
Yes.
it as crisp as you are with this brand?
Well,
I
that's-
don't know. Some
I
of these
mean-
vintage collectors,
That's how you got to be an elitist vintage collector. I got 45-year-old card backs behind me that are crisp,
if
Eddie.
it's got yellow and you break it open,
I don't want to do all that work, man. My generation is lazy. Let me.
You
buy
can
these new
pre-order it
ones.
right now. All of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Get them all in the same pack. They're cool, man.
I didn't know
I
what
like 'em.
pre-order meant when I was a kid. It just showed up one day, and I was like, "Hey, this must be
This-
new."
Okay,
The
No one's
sliding-
buying these for their kids.
And the sliding cabin, yeah, these
Maybe
are
they
definitely
are.
adult.
Okay,
but the
but-
sliding cabin on the some of the features on the Batmobile look cool.
okay,
Sorry,
but
Eddie.
but does a Batwing come out of it?
That is true. They never do. That's something that Toys has never like. They got good at packaging. They got good at a lot of stuff like making the toys like more sculpted, more detailed. They got good at all that. They've never gotten better at the like action that a toy used to have. Any
Dude.
kind of the accessories or the action has never gotten better.
Dude, this giving me this is giving me like a 1994 Christmas flashback. So I opened the real one. I opened it up, and I did not know that it had a Batwing inside, and that was a game changing moment.
Yeah.
Like pull that thing out. I was like, I did not know that was part of the product, and this one doesn't have that. So buy vintage.
The hubcap
I remember-
does
I
pop
remember
out. And you get the blade on the hubcap.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember the 89 one split apart and became like that missile. I don't know if you remember that, but like that's
yeah.
what the 89 toy did. That like I loved that thing. That was like the best feature.
All right, next up we have the Batman Hush Mafex number 229 Scarecrow. This is going to be $114 due out in November of this year. Um, it's super basic, but I think it looks great. I don't like the comic head sculpt, but I think the actual Scarecrow face sculpts look really good, and just the way that his arms articulated. I mean, it is a Mafex, so I'd be expecting a lot from it, and just kind of just like the wrinkles on the plastic and how it's all stitched up on the legs. I think this looks really good. I'm going hot on this. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna real quick, hot too, because to me this is interesting because it's almost like a hyper realistic. I know it's from Hush, but what I haven't read, but it reminds me of the animated series Scarecrow, and they didn't take him into that sort of like modern like reimagining like the Bale films did. This is just like, yep, he's a lunatic who dresses like a scarecrow, and like he has a Texas Chainsaw Massacre looking mask, and this is a fun piece. I think the paint on the suit is a little bit sort of simplistic, but other than that, it's pretty nice. I'm gonna say hot.
Yeah, to echo you said there with the comic, actually, I think it's really cool. Especially with the face mask, like just the stitching and stuff like that, and even the details on the rope around his neck and whatnot. So, I do agree though that the sculpt, I don't think anyone would just display it with that, but I understand why they put it in there. But I mean, with this character, you got to go with the mask version. So yeah, definitely hot for this. This is cool.
You mean no one wants a crackhead in their collection?
Yeah, it's just the dude it's the
Except when
blonde
the
dude.
crackhead looks cooler with the
weird
mask on.
I'm gonna go hot, but only because I know people want like a really good articulated, like classic looking Scarecrow. But I actually prefer the look from Arkham Knight.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say. I love that figure.
I love that Scarecrow. This is good in that old school way, but I definitely prefer that look.
Are you talking about the
we
exclusive
had like the
one or the
syringe hands
original?
and all that?
The original.
You mean from
release?
McFarlane?
Yeah,
What was the difference?
just the color. I think the exclusive one was orange or yellow. Like
It was brighter, right?
Yeah,
I didn't like I like the darker colored one.
like it was like the gray, the
Yeah.
metal gray.
Yeah.
Up next, we have the Marvel's Infinity Saga Mafex number 230 Black Panther version 1.5. This is going to be $139.99 due out in November. This will include the figure, 3 head sculpts, the throne, a short spear, and a long spear. First off, I think the throne is amazing, and I think it's worth it for just the throne alone, but I'm just kind of over all the Black Panther stuff that they've done for him. You know, I mean, there's so much of it, and I feel like it's just being done and done and done, you know, over and over. I don't know what the big detail is as far as the 0.5 besides the throne, but I'm actually gonna go not on this. If I had the original Black Panther or another version, whether that be like the 3.0, if that one's come out or going to come out, I would only want to get this for the throne. So I'm only not on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go not as well, but mostly because that throne is like, I mean, just from a design perspective, it's not doing it for me. There's so many more exciting thrones out there in the world. You know, that one's just it's a little bit, it's curvy. It's like very organic looking, but it's not doing it for me. But I mean, you know, also it's MCU. So like, I need to say not hot before I fall asleep. So you can go next, Bad Fish.
I'm gonna keep on here. I'm gonna say this one's hot as well. Just the options for posing for this character, which you need. The throne is cool as well. As Chris was saying, he didn't like it. It is movie accurate. So, and I think if you want that in your display with with this for this character. I think it's a great way to get it. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for me though is the articulation, the butterfly joints on the shoulders and whatnot. It looks like you get a lot of posability about this one. And I know it's like there's a lot of content for this, but I think with it, there's a few figures we've seen a lot of times, but I still think this one has its merits. So I'm gonna stay hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hot too. Only because I think that the draw for this was that it's such a great price point. Like I think it's the same price as the other Black Panthers, but it comes with the throne. And I don't think that there's one or another that is better. So if you don't have one, like I agree if you have one already and you don't care to have the throne, I don't think you really need to get this. But if you don't have one, like might as well get this one and get the throne thrown in there, because I think it's pretty cheap for having the throne with, like it's the same as any other Mafex figure, I think, or what price point they'd be at. And if you get it from overseas anyway, it's a better price. So like I don't know how much it is on Big Bad, but it's probably a little more. But I think it's a good bang for your buck with this one.
Do you know if the 3-0 one's out already?
I know that The Amazing put the review out for it, but I don't know if like everybody's getting that. I'm sure there's some people are still waiting on it, but I know he put out a review for it already. That one is different too, because that one I believe has die-cast parts, and it's not even a die-cast character that would need it, but it does have it, I think.
Yeah, looks like it's. Does it let me add it? Nope. Oh, nope, it does. It is available on 3.0, so it should be out already. I was wondering if it wasn't out, if it would undercut, if the Mafex one would undercut it. You know, just the fact that it has the throne with it.
I think that one's cheaper. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
$99.
Oh, maybe they're the same then. Because this one is only like $110.
When it first came out?
This one with the throne. I think it's only like 110. I don't think it's that expensive. I mean, all Mafex figures are like $100, which is like kind of expensive for what they are. But they usually go on sale. But this is actually worth it, I think, with the throne. So.
Yep. All right, moving on. The next thing we have are some Rebel Moon figures from SH Figuarts. So Korra is going to stand at 5.7 inches tall. It includes multiple interchangeable hands, a gun, an axe, a knife, a holster, and removable fabric robe. And she is scheduled to come out in June of 2024. And it's priced at
God
8,800 yen, or about $62 USD. We were talking about this earlier in the regular chat, but I think the only way we're going to be able to get it over here is if you go from like BBTS or something like that. But I have not seen the movie yet, and I think she looks really cool. I think the gun looks really cool. Excuse me. I looked at some pictures online of the actual movie, and I think it looks pretty close. I think I just need to see more, but just for what we got here, I'm going to say hot.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough for me because I want to support Rebel Moon just because a bunch of like annoying Star Wars fans are like, it wasn't good. And it's like, have you guys seen Star Wars for the last 5 years? Like, calm down. Like, you can't be like calling anybody out.
That's
like,
why they're saying it. They need a win.
Yeah, they so desperately want this movie to fail, which makes me want to buy the figures, and I probably will just on that basis. But you do have some weird stuff, like the bare arm there with the articulation does look pretty funky, and like it's on some level it's sort of a generic costume, so like it's kind of like like with Star Wars figures, like the troopers are a little more interesting usually from a design perspective. Like she has a very plain shirt on and brown boots and pants, so it's not the most exciting figure. It's pretty much a Zack Snyder Jinner. So it's like, what is it? It doesn't do that much for me, but I mean, when we some of the other characters are a little more interesting from a design perspective, and I could see myself getting in on this line because I don't imagine it going over like 6 to 10 figures for this first movie. Like if they even, I mean, we'll see how it sells if they'll even get that far, right? But I'm gonna say hot just because competition is good, and the movie is like it's decent no matter what all the critics are trying to say. It's entertaining. Hot.
I'm I, I'm on the line with this one just from the design aspects that Chris pointed out, just with the plain shirt and like the articulated arm is a little funky looking. But I think with the especially with the soft goods, I like uh the net, like the leather clasp, and then the design going down the fringe kind of there. It's pretty cool. And the only thing that's kind of thrown off, are those thumbs like articulated on these figure arts, like where she's holding the knife.
Right
It's
here.
like I got a cut in it, yeah. But anyways, I'm on the line, but I'm gonna go hot with this. As Chris was saying, I think it's cool to see something different, and they seem to have done a really good job, even though it is basic. Like the shirt looks good, the little belt thing and the pant. They look like they did some good molds on it, and the gun's cool. So hot for me.
This might be my first not. Sorry, Chris.
It's okay.
the,
I'm liking it for political reasons. You're fine. I'm not gonna argue.
the I don't think the likeness is very good. Like it doesn't. It looks like a generic um brown female, but it doesn't look like her. Uh, Also, for what I'd want it for, to me, this character isn't as cool as they wanted her to be. I'm with Chris. I don't think this movie is as bad as people make it out to be, and I definitely think it's worth watching if you haven't seen it. It's at the very least, it's very like amazing to look at. Like it's a very like beautiful movie. Like there's always something going on, and it's a lot of action and stuff. So it's a very cool movie to watch. It's just like I didn't necessarily like fall in love with any of these characters specifically, and she's like the main badass. Um, and she did do some badass stuff. So if you want it for that reason, then that's cool. But like, I just didn't fall in love with her, and as like a generic female badass character, then yeah, it's cool for that. But at $60, I don't know if I need it. Like if it was like more like that, very basic Goku price, it's like $30 retail or something like that, I'd be way more inclined there. But I'm sure they couldn't do that with this likeness or this license maybe. But um, I agree with you guys. It looks good. It just doesn't. It's just not appealing enough, and it doesn't look like her if you want it to be her, like at all. So
I think it needs another head sculpt because it's like, you got her these action poses, but she just got like
Yeah.
the straight face,
Totally, especially that photo on the right, like it's not a bad shot, but like the way it's lit, like the face just looks like it's staring at like a nondescript point on the ground, and it's just like, it's very unenthusiastic.
It looks
But
like
as
she's waiting for a burger at McDonald's. Yeah.
yeah,
Isn't that
very
right?
like
What the heck?
very static NPC look. But I mean, you're right though. It needed to, because like you can't only give her like a screaming like murder spree face, right? You have to have like a plain one and that. But I think at this price they should be considering stuff like that. But yeah, good point, man.
And then we have Jimmy, also from Rebel Moon. He is going to stand 6.7 inches tall. He has multiple interchangeable hands, a stick, a crown part, flower crown parts, and a removable fabric cloth. Jimmy is scheduled to come out June of 2024, also at the same price, about $62 USD. I think this guy looks cool. I don't know like what his role is in the movie or whatever, but I was kind of thinking of like, why couldn't Star Wars do some of their droids like that?
Well, it's because it's Figuarts. That's why it looks better than any Hasbro thing. But yeah, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hot on this.
Yeah, me too. Just look at him. By the way, Sean, he has barely any role in the movie, but I'm sure in the second one, he's going to become part of the like main team. But he has like 2 big scenes, and they're good, but like his total screen time is probably 3 minutes. Like,
And I
realistically.
argue you're gonna like this guy more than all of the other characters,
Well, it helps that
and
it's
you have
Anthony
the
Hopkins.
least amount of time.
Yeah,
You're like the most interested in knowing about this guy's background, and they don't tell you at all.
Dang.
Yeah, well, but I mean, he's unique for a robot because he gets like basically like he gets very nostalgic and starts adorning himself with weird stuff just because a kid talks to him basically, and then he runs off into a field. So like he's like a very emo robot. Like I don't
His
he
emo
just
colors.
yeah, I don't he never fights anyone. And spoiler alert, but it's 3 minutes of a 2.5 hour movie, and it's not near the last hour at all. But but design wise, like look at the chest piece there. Like it's all like pitted. Like it's like part of his backstory is that he's like really old and been in service a long time. And I think that you can really read that on this piece. And like I was saying about the last one, what these sort of more hyper stylized designs like really sing a lot more. And I mean, this just looks fun, and the articulation is obviously hidden because he's a robot, so it all looks perfectly natural. And I just think he's a sharp design. The face is cool. The pitted metal effect is cool. So I'm going to say hot on this one.
Yeah, without seeing the movie either, but I would say it's hot as well. Look at the articulation just on that, right? Like to get it reminds me of like assassin droids in Star Wars, and they have that mobility and whatnot. Like I think they were the ones that they had in Clone Wars with the
Yeah.
that jumped around basically.
Yeah.
They remind me of those, but this is just really cool. The crown and stuff is a really interesting thing. I would probably want them in the action poses without all that stuff, probably maybe with the cape, but yeah, I don't know. This is so cool, and like you said, there's the way it hides the articulation. It looks so like the legs look sparse, but at the same time they're just because of the design, but they've really hidden everything well. It looks so great with the separation on the plates of metal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hot just because it's a badass figure, and the articulation is gonna be pretty insane. Probably it should be pretty decent size figure too. He's a pretty big character, so it'll be a good size, and it is very aesthetically pleasing. Either you have him, doing some crazy stuff in one look, or you have him like look like some dystopian like leader of some village of robots on the left. But,
Yeah, exactly.
he's really cool, and yeah, Chris is right. The fact that he's voiced by Anthony Hopkins makes him like a million times cooler.
Look at those fingers. Look at the fingers, though. It looks great.
In the movie, which I don't think is spoilers, he's supposed to be a badass too, which is kind of why you're more intrigued by him. Like, this is supposed to be like death robots that like could kill anything, and not a lot of them exist anymore. So like he's like one of the only ones left, so they're like really surprised when they see him. And but at this point he doesn't fight anymore. He's like pretty much turned into like a C-3PO, like a house droid or whatever, and he kind of just helps out with things, but they're all like scared of him or intimidated because no one's seen a robot like him in forever. So I'm telling you, I don't know why he's not in the movie very long at all, but he was the most interesting one to me, like that I wanted to know more about.
Well, it's just that visual, man. Look at him with the antlers on there. Like that's iconic.
Did he ever wear the cloak in the movie?
I think we're talking that look on the left is like one shot in the movie,
Because I don't.
and it's kind of like that picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the cloak. I remember the antlers, but
I'd have to double check. It could be one of those things where like when you have like a first movie in a series, like the cloak could literally be like a concept art thing that just ended up with
Yeah.
the figure. That does happen with like Star Wars figures all the time. So you never know. I'd have to double check to make sure.
that's
He's not a
essentially-
C3PO.
he's just a service droid now. That's the point.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Our last hot or not is Nemesis. She's going to be 5.7 inches tall. Includes multiple interchangeable hands, two swords with heat effects. The hat.
Eddie had to
Nemesis
mute
is
himself. Just saying.
Nemesis is scheduled to come out for August of this year, and she's going to be 9,900 yen, or about $70 USD. Sorry, what happened?
Oh well, Eddie was basically dying because of her pants. Basically, is what
Oh,
I'm.
yeah.
What I'm.
And the
my assumption.
bandana. Oh,
Yeah.
This
like,
is
what the hell?
a complete not for me. Like, this looks horrible. Oh my god!
I don't know
Look,
why they're doing
like her
this
whole
with the
body
bleach
looks
line,
normal
too.
until you get to her pants.
like
They couldn't have
who-
done anything else.
when they were in design, and they're in the office and they're like, "Check out the design. What do you guys think? How does that pass? Like, maybe we should think about soft goods for this one, guys. I think."
Like, just look at the last figure with that awesome soft goods cape, and then it's like this is like Nintendo 64 legs. This is like insane looking.
It looks like
Mark
salt
P,
and
this is
pepper
SH
grinders. Looks like
Figuarts. No, I can't see that.
Yeah, can you, Mark? Can you even believe this is SH Figuarts? They're like these legs are crazy. Like
and she's the most action.
Well, with the name Nemesis,
character.
you would
Yeah.
think that they would put a little bit more effort to make her look more badass than anything else. And then there is a picture of her with the hat on, but like looking like at her face, and it just sits on top of the bandana. It is horrible.
I want her Cheeto swords for my Chester, though. I want those.
You know, if now like this character has a really cool fight scene with a hideous monster, and if they would make that hideous monster, it would probably be like 3 times the cost of one of these. I would probably buy that, but like this is, these legs aren't excusable. I think we sort of broke the format, but it sounds like it's pretty unanimous not based on the most insane legs that we've all ever seen.
Well, I don't know, Chris. I've been on a hot streak, and I was hoping to keep it going, but I just can't. I just absolutely can't. This is terrible. I don't understand what's. Oh my god, these are so bad. Like, it would maybe be if the pants weren't like this, you could maybe forgive the hat and stuff because it's unique looking and it's part of the design. But her head. How much dome does she have under that bandana? Like, she's like become a cone head or something. But the pants are atrocious. But it's like, it's weird as well though. But the leg is bending somehow. It looks like at the knee. But yeah, the swords I feel like could be done better. But I haven't seen them in the movie. I think that I've seen like them in the trailer, but. Yeah, beyond that, yeah, it's definitely a not on this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a not. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. Like I said, they're doing it with my bleach line, which kills me because I want to collect that line, but they just don't look good, So, and the swords in the movie are cool, like heat effect sword. They're really cool, and they don't look anything like this. They look like metal that was heated. And this just looks insane.
Yeah.
Is she like the main villain?
No, she's not a villain.
Oh,
And so they can apparently come with you can like sheath them, I guess, because they come with these.
Yeah.
But you'd probably want those over these, but yeah, I don't know who would get this with these pants, man. Unless you're completing the line, you kind of feel like you have to.
This is literally like I wish I would have like had a better look at this earlier, because this is literally like why soft goods exist. Like, this literally looks like like the 1983 version of the Emperor, where his like cloak is like split into two big plastic legs with like folds. This is like 70s like 80s counterfigure stuff. This is why soft goods were
She
invented.
looks like Gumby.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my god.
I'm
All right.
surprised they didn't do the main antagonist. He's really cool. I think he would have been a cool figure. I'm surprised they didn't do him. I'm
How much
surprised they
is
didn't
this?
do Charlie Hunnam's character.
About
Or
70
Hunnam.
bucks.
He was cool.
So very quickly, I'm looking. There's a way better Diamond Select one for $24, $25, and the pants don't look nearly as bad. It's crazy, and I think they're even not soft goods, but they actually look at least half decent.
Yeah, they need to
Man,
go back and retool this.
Difference in
They
these
need
two
to do
figures.
something.
It's
won't.
crazy. The Diamond
No,
Select
you're
one
right, they
looks
won't
so
do it.
much better. You guys should look it up if anyone's listening, or if you guys on the panel look up the Diamond Select
I don't know if any.
Nemesis.
Well, I mean, I guess Diamond Select is doing them, but I don't think any other import line is gonna.
Iron
do these
Studios
either,
is doing
so-
some statues.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
statues
just
will
trying to
probably
find a
look
picture
good,
from the
though.
movie to see what these look like in the movie, because
They look like pants.
they're just fabric pants.
She's a
yeah.
samurai character, so they look like what are those style of pants called? Something with a K, right?
Okay.
But
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. I was shocked when I saw it.
All right, guys,
They
that is
look like
our show.
Plastic fries you get like with the McDonald's things that you used to maybe
Oh.
get as a kid. That's what they remind me of. The little plastic fries stacked in a row. Another McDonald's reference.
That is our show for today. We want to shout out all of our Patreonies, starting with Ian CB, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valen, Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Giss, Daminator, Joel Bretta, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Gun Figs, Bad Fish, Toy Cartel, Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krant, Big Fern, Susan Keen, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bamowski, Rick DiGregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, Illustrious Rayner, Alan Morgan, Takathri, Wah, Derek B, Aries Portillo, Alvin J, Arlis Delgado, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clavenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Matan, Stephen Percha, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Luis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you guys so much. We will have updates on the stickers hopefully in the next week or so. But if you do want to become a Patreoni, you can start with the hot seat at $5. You could join the Empire with all the digital benefits, including Ox After Dark, Patreon chat, and weekly shout outs. You got the Sweet Angel at $7.50. This will include stickers sent to your door, replays for Ox After Dark, and then the stickers will be sent every other month. Certified Crispy will get you a Certified Crispy certificate on first pledge. Assistance with figure fixes by Zach. Ask him if he's still doing that. I'm not sure what his schedule is like right now. And then all the benefits of the previous tier. International postage will be charged at cost for the certificate. And then our biggest tier is the What a Guy tier at $25. This is going to get you a POG deluxe set on first pledge, doubles of all the stickers, benefits of the previous tiers. International postage will be above $5 will be charged at cost for the POGs. And then the stickers are sent every other month. And then we like to thank all of our YouTube channel members, starting with Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Henson, Big Ol' Fern, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Garbear, good old Spotchika, Gotham Cenobites, Justin Sports Cards, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Litteris, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, one six figure focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Full, S Beam, Sam Giss, Scarn Lord, SpongeBob Squareballs, Sunnyvale Russ, my God, Ben Thomas Show, and Toy Mafia. And to be a Patreon on the YouTube, it's 99 cents. You get all the badges, and then $2.99 for the Peanut Gallery. And then these are all of our shows. We got unboxing on Mondays with the main show on Tuesday, Collecting Weekly, and then After Dark on Wednesdays, Small Talk and OFAC on Thursdays. You'll get OFAC next week, and then Ox PD, Bricks and Brews, and Live and Let Dice. And guys, we want to thank all y'all for tuning in today. We had quite a people in the live chat today, so we appreciate you guys. You guys got any kind of shout outs?
I'll just say congrats on to the main show for episode 300, and if you missed that, go check that out, because there's a lot of fun retrospective content there.
I would say shout out to everyone in the chat. Like you said, there was a lot of great people in the chat. Mark Pearson, Mark P, Thor, Tijuana Mike, Toy Mafia as always. We had Steve, Casual Nerd Problems. Thank you everyone who tuned in and keeping the chat going there. Arrow, yeah, all kinds of people. So appreciate you guys being in there and watching us live, and anyone on the replay as well. If you have anything for your 2024 focuses, put them in the comments there.
What about you, Eddie?
Thanks for letting me hop on. I appreciate it. It's always last minute notice, so I appreciate you guys always allowing me to join the group here. I always have a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. We always appreciate your opinion on a lot of this stuff and your different takes on things.
Eddie was on my side a lot tonight. I like that.
Yeah, that's funny, right? We were all kind of lining up a little bit.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, thanks for coming, Eddie. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, Happy New Year. Hope you have a good 2024. Hope collecting is very prosperous for you this year. And we'd love to hear what you guys got planned, just like Badfish said. So throw it in the comments, throw it on Ox, tag us, and don't forget to check out our Instagram. We're going to hopefully get more stuff up there this year. I think, Chris, you need to do like a basic photo photography masterclass for us or something like that.
Basic masterclass.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there's a few simple things that can really sort of improve the like baseline
next time, not right now. Thank you guys. Bye. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. I'm not getting into it now. Yeah, you need the whole setup ready. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you on the next show. Have a good week, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Bye, guys.